Welcome to the Whaler Guys here at our world headquarters on 20-28 Sargent Street. It's the Whaler Guys on Hartford Public Access. I'm wearing a home jersey. Pete's going away because he's irritating the hell out of me tonight. But you know what? We are opening up the show because we're going to start with our tour of all the downtown luxury apartments through the Capital Region Development Authority. Terrell Smith did a great job taking us around and put up with us for almost 8 hours.
Well, yeah, it was a long day.
I think she went to counseling after that. But what did you think of our tour?
It was great. We're going to show you, we've got a great selection of places downtown in Hartford. We went through about 5 to 6 different locations. We saw a difference in variety of places. We saw places that were a little bit more high price, and we saw some that are a little bit lower, but all were pretty reasonable, and they're getting great responses on how much occupancy you have, so pay attention to that. And there's so many amenities that we got to mention here. I mean, just about every place we went to had a washer and dryer hookup in the apartment. So in other words, there's no going to a laundromat, and there's not one downtown anyway.
And what's nice is everything's on one floor. And when you open up the closet, there's your washer and dryer. It's hidden away.
Yeah.
Not everyone's walking in your apartment saying, oh, look, a washer and dryer.
Right,
it's hidden in a nice close-away closet with the nice doors. I mean, they were beautiful.
Yeah.
I was very impressed. I even mentioned it to my wife that, one day maybe we'll go downtown and someone else can shovel the driveway.
Yeah, because I mean, even some of the washer dryers they had in, I think it was 77 Main, it's washer dryer 1 unit. So in other words, you wash your clothes and then you just hit a button and now you're drying in the same unit. So that saves you a lot of space. Like I said, these washer and dryers, they had to point out where they were in the apartment to us because we had no idea. You didn't even know it was there.
You really weren't looking for them either. And not only that, most of these places have a gym included. The gyms in some of these our workout rooms were just unbelievable.
Yeah.
777 Main Street.
Yeah.
At the top was the old boardroom where all the chairmen and all his executives had all their meeting for the banks.
Yeah.
And they really did a nice job keeping the 12-foot windows and the 9-foot ceilings.
Incredible views of Hartford.
Beautiful.
Yeah. At Spectra Apartments down on Columbus Boulevard, they had a nice common area. And they also had a great a gym that you could shoot hoops and stuff. We were in the lobby. We saw Chris Carter from ESPN.
Yes, we did.
Who happens to live there. He probably is not going to like that I mentioned that. But, it was great to see, you got some high celebrity appointments down in the Spectre Apartments. 77 Main probably has some of the same issues with, people coming and going so fast. And we saw great responses in the amount of occupancies. And we saw Front Street as well that had another
CRDA mentioned, is it 40 and under? The people that are moving downtown, 95% of the people are 40 and under, single.
Yep.
And you have a younger crowd now moving downtown, and with everything going on downtown, it's a perfect time.
Yeah.
All of them were pet friendly.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, even we saw the one on Front Street, which is a new construction, which is right on Front Street next to the Infinity Hall and Ted's. But they had a pet washing station even, so you could wash your pet, and you don't have to go to a groomer or anything. You can just do your stuff right there.
You know how much I like my cat?
Yeah.
Put it in the water.
Well, yeah, I bet you would.
That was spray it. Only kidding.
Yeah.
You animal lovers. I didn't get rid of the cat.
He's not a cat fan.
No, but I have one. So anyways, we have that. A lot of community rooms. The one I really, really liked was the Spectra. Was it the 3rd floor?
Yeah.
Had a community room that had an area where they served beverages. There was tables, almost like you were in a lounge.
Yeah, almost like a
the old style lounge with round tables and bar stools. Very, very nice. They kept the girders, the cross beams and girders, and they painted them up.
Yeah,
really sharp.
Stripped the area down to its steel beams, and then they decorated the steel beams so that now they're part of the room, which made it like functional, but yet like a cosmetic adjustment. Kind of gave it it did have that like you could have a party there.
It's almost like you think Sinatra was going to come out. It was that type of lounge feeling.
It was a modern feel, but yet a kind of classy feel. And most of these modern rooms, like you mentioned with the 77 Main, that big boardroom with the incredible views of Hartford from all up there.
And it was all smart.
Yeah.
The smart thermostats.
Right.
It has its own fuel cell.
Yeah.
The 12-foot windows are double paned insulated.
Yeah.
You walk into the room, the thermostat automatically goes up.
Yeah.
It was just amazing.
State of the art.
The security cameras I saw throughout the building, absolutely. When you look at, for me, looking at living downtown, you want to be safe. You want to make sure the access control of how you're getting in, what you're doing. And most of them had parking within their facilities,
Right.
whether it was a parking garage or it was within the facility, you had a parking space.
Yeah, yeah. It's great to, you're going to go through the show and you're going to see these places. And just, for that 77 Main Street, the one on Main Street, the Bank of America building there, that is one of 3 residential towers in the country that's completely no carbon footprint. They operate on a 400 kilowatt mega cell or fuel cell.
Fuel cell, yep.
Right, and there's no carbon footprint. So if you're kind of an energy conservation type, here you have a building that's completely, carbon free.
It was amazing. And he said the highest electric bill he saw in his building was $30.
Wow.
And that was the highest bill he saw as an electricity bill. The other thing was, how can you go wrong? They have the coffee shop downtown. Downstairs on the bottom floor is, was it Blue State Coffee?
Blue State Coffee is at the bottom of the 77.
And he was gracious enough to buy us a cup of coffee.
Yeah, Bruce Becker.
It was very, very good.
Yeah, yeah.
And I tell you, I'd live down there. I'd go down and have a cup of coffee in the morning.
And all these places are within walking distance of each other. Like you have the one on Columbus Boulevard, Spectre Apartments, the old Sonesta Hotel. Then you have 77 Main, which is just down the street a little bit.
777 Main.
Yeah, it's 777 Main Street. And then you have Front Street, which is just down a little bit further. And then we saw stuff in the entertainment district, on Allen Street. And we saw the Grand on Ann, which was an old Mason.
House.
Yeah, but no, it was a Mason.
Which one? Okay, the Mason one.
Yeah, Grand on Ann is a Mason's building that's been converted into.
That was Lewis. Lewis had the carriage house.
No, not Lewis. It's.
What was it?
I can't remember the name of the street now. But anyway, the old carriage house on Elm Street. That's what it was.
Yep.
On Elm Street.
Yep.
Old carriage house on Elm Street has. This is actually where they used to keep the carriages for back in the 1890s, 1900. And they had an elevator that would bring these carriages up. Well, Dan Peabody was the designer of the apartments there. He has one of the gears that I think he was going to put up on a wall as one of the gears from the old elevator. And this actually became the first car dealership
in Connecticut.
In Connecticut, eventually, as the turn of the century. So I mean, it's just some pretty cool historic properties, and then you have new construction. And you know what? Between the two of them, they have state of the art amenities, and you really can't tell the difference of what's kind of old and new. But at the same time, they kept classic old styles. Like if you remember on Allen Street, they had the marble staircase.
Yes.
They had the old mail chute. That people used to use in the
what's
building.
nice is when we looked at Allen Street with the marble staircase, those are all 1-bedroom apartments.
Right.
So if you need 2 bedrooms, you're going to have to look at 777 Main Street,
or
Spectra, and the lofts.
The lofts.
The lofts were beautiful. Those are brand new construction.
Yeah, but you did mention Lewis Street, and Lewis Street just opened up. They have some apartments to rent out.
Yeah, the CRDA just put it out on Facebook.
Right.
Yep.
So we didn't get to that one because it wasn't completed. It's now complete. So. But you can see these next 5 properties that we have, or 5 or 6 properties, and you could actually pick which one you'd like to live in downtown.
And I'm sure when you talk to these landlords that or these property managers, they were all down to earth, nice people.
Yeah, very cool.
Really embraced the Hartford tradition of keeping the buildings kind of what they are.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a great time with the tour. We hope we did a good job. Dan did a fantastic job with the camera following us around. And trying to keep us apart so we could get good shots because we got into our little huddles all the time.
Yeah.
But, we hope you enjoy it. And please let us know on Facebook or email us on what you thought of our show. Going out and about with Dan, the cameraman, and our producer. We hope you really enjoy it. Just another hidden gem of Hartford.
That's right.
We're here at the Front Street Loft Apartments. This is brand new construction in Hartford.
We're sitting here checking out this is a one bedroom, right?
Yes,
One
it is,
bedroom.
correct.
Still has a washer and dryer, so you can do your laundry here. And how many units are in this building?
121.
121 units complete. So, and then we're sitting here. This is the only place in Hartford that the new residentials that has outside spacing. So we have a balcony. You're overlooking the Hartford Times building. Eventually, this is going to be when the construction all gets done. This is going to be quite a hot place.
This is the place to be.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the outside, it's beautiful, and like Peter said, it's the new construction. This is brand new construction. The state-of-the-art, as we talked about earlier, it's kind of like modeling from Blueback Square, that whole city, but within the town district business area, and obviously the restaurants right down the street.
I mean, from right here, you can go to there's Nick's, there's Ted's Montana's, there's
Oh, we've
the
been to
Infinity,
Ted's.
the Infinity Music Hall. I mean, you're just footsteps from there. So, a lot of access to Hartford downtown here, and great living space, very comfortable with a modern feel to it. Very nice.
Yeah. What now? How many have you leased, and where are you in the process right now? Because you opened in October,
We
correct?
opened it in October, yep, and we've already got over 10% occupancy and roughly over 20% lease, so we're jumping right along.
Moving right along. This
it's
is
going
great.
very well.
And when we talked with the CRDA and they talked about how quickly people were leasing these properties, you just couldn't believe it. It was only a couple of years ago where everyone thought Hartford was dead, and this is a great testimonial, not only here but at Spectra and everything happening downtown. Hartford is up and coming, and it's great to see the city coming to life again.
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we are going to take a tour, and these great people are going to send us all around Front Street Apartments, so we hope you enjoy the tour.
Yeah. We should mention, we're here with Amy and Kelly.
Oh, I'm sorry, Amy
we didn't
and Kelly,
introduce them.
yeah.
These are the great people that are showing us this building. So if you do have questions, come down and talk to them, and they can let you know
Absolutely.
anything.
Take a tour, come up to the
themselves.
rooftop deck, take a
Yeah,
look
you
over
must
the
see it
city.
yourself. Yeah.
Welcome anytime.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take the tour. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Hey, it's the Whaler guys. We're here at 179 Allen Street. I'm here with Roberto Arista from Dakota Partners, the developer of the building. And it's got 63 units in this. This is another new construction opened in March of.
It was, we started occupying in March, we were actually completed in February, mid-February.
Okay,
So.
and how you actually filled up the building pretty quickly.
We filled up the building in an extraordinarily short time. We occupied the first unit in March, and we were completely filled by June.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're talking about 63 units, and you have 2 bedrooms and 1 bedroom?
Nope, we have all single-bedroom units here.
Okay.
And part of the reason was the constraints of what we had.
Right.
And the other part was really about our market research that said that this Hartford is, sort of attracting young professionals.
Right.
And most of these young professionals are going to want one-bedroom units,
Mhm.
whether they're couples or singles.
Mm-hmm. And are you
It's
seeing?
our demographic. Yeah, it's exactly that. In fact, the majority, maybe 50%, is single women, and then the rest is couples and guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're on this. Elm Street is a main hub of entertainment. There's a lot of
It
nightlife,
is.
restaurants.
It is.
Yeah. So
we
and you've
are-
got the train station almost directly across the
Right,
street. So if
right.
you want
So we
to
are-
travel.
right.
And
we
the
are-
bus. You got
Yeah.
the buses
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah, the bus, there's the
Mhm.
Dash, which is
Yeah.
a free bus,
Mhm.
and that was established not too long ago. We were told that was going to happen, and it did.
That's
We're very
great.
happy about that. But you're right, this is the entertainment district,
Right.
and so, it attracts young people because it is the entertainment
Right.
district. And of course, the train station and bus station across the street.
Yeah.
So that makes it easy for people to travel other places if they're coming, from a distance.
Right.
The building itself, of course, is it's a historic building.
Mhm.
It was probably born as a series of buildings back in the early 1800s, and then towards the later 1800s, it turned into what we see today, with the facade that it has today.
Right.
But it is a series of buildings, probably 3 buildings, because you can tell from the way the foundation was built.
Right.
And it was originally, we believe, it was in fact a series of residential buildings. And then it changed, and it turned into a commercial building, and for many, many years it was occupied as a commercial building.
Mhm.
And when we took it over, it was, let's say it was, not exactly a full building. And so there were just 2 or 3 tenants, and of course we still have the tenants downstairs with the club, the sports bar and the club. And we decided to turn it into apartments. Because we sort of, talked to a few people in town, connected with CRDA, and CRDA told us that they had a plan. And the plan was to sort of repopulate downtown Hartford. And we like that story a lot, because this is a story that's happening all over America in many, many cities. We come from Massachusetts, and we saw what happened in Boston over the last 20, 30 years, which is a remarkable story. And we hope that the same thing happens here in Hartford.
Right.
And we're so sold on Hartford that not only are we doing this, did we do this building, we're also doing Capitol Ave, which is a few blocks away on the other side of Bushnell Park. That is really double the size of this one.
Pretty impressive.
It's really great because you walk in and just the outside of the building is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that it really is the gem of Hartford. We talked about the several gems that we visited today, and this one has its own. Each of them have their own flair, and that's the outside of your building is just it's great. You see it, you're like, all right, this shows the history of Hartford,
Right.
and to bring it back and like we were talking off camera, you only have 2 units left.
Yeah.
You know, so to
They're selling fast.
and they're selling fast, so get down here quick. And it's great that the younger people are coming into like city life.
Right.
My son's a junior in college.
Yeah.
He loves going to Providence. He says, why can't Hartford have this? Well, Hartford's starting to get this. And that's what people have to realize. You and the other people we visited today all have a very optimistic view of where Hartford's going in the future.
Right.
And that's what's very important is the young people, the empty nesters, are starting to come downtown,
Right.
as we've heard from all the property managers, that they're very optimistic about what's in the future for Hartford.
Right. And as we say here, this is a one bedroom. All
All
of the units are one bedroom. But this is a modern kitchen here with a nice high ceilings, open floor plan, plenty of room. And this is about 600, 700 square feet.
This is roughly 600 square feet.
600 square feet.
Yeah.
And you have
So,
beautiful natural lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything's looking great. And in each building, you realize how old it is, but to get it that modern look on the inside really gives it nice. Nice.
It has a lot of snap to it when you walk in. You can tell it has a nice feeling to it. And
Yeah.
very welcoming
Yeah.
and open.
And this particular unit actually has one of the original columns.
Yeah.
Yes.
Notice it's exposed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah. For the
So,
purpose.
and the high ceilings, of course, is the way it came.
Mhm.
Right? It does create a very nice space. for-
You don't feel
for residential.
claustrophobic.
You don't feel-
No,
Right.
it's such a very nice, comfortable feel.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Plenty of room.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, we're going to take a tour and we'll catch you on the other side.
Hey, it's the Whaler guys. Now we're at a new location. We're here with Jay. You're the property manager?
Correct.
Property manager of 201 Ann Street. This is known as the Grand Ann.
The Grand on Ann.
The Grand on Ann.
We already went over this. off camera.
Hey,
What's
it
wrong
happens.
with
What do
you?
you want to, So we have 26 units here in this residential, and you have, they're all single bedrooms.
All one bedroom.
And how has your occupancy rate been since you opened? When did you open, actually?
We opened in January. Things have been good. Obviously, we're in the winter months. We do have available units. They all have a full-size washer and dryer, and we have a fitness room. So that seems to be the key to renting the units downtown. Most of the questions are fitness room and do we have laundry on site?
Right. Laundry's a big thing. We've noticed that in a lot of residentials. They do have a laundry on site where, people can do, they don't have to go to a laundromat or they can stay here. And plus this is another building that's in a, you have, there's the Rocky Horse, there's the Russian Lady, you've got the tavern, you've got all these restaurants like, feet from your building.
And the XL Center.
The XL Center where you can see a hockey game right across the street, and you can't get an easier commute than that.
Exactly.
Exactly. So you opened in January, and what kind of demographics are you seeing people coming in for the units that you have?
They're mostly young professionals. For the most part, it's young professionals. There's been a couple of people that have come from out of state and looked until they found a home, but the apartment dwellers are mid-20s to early 30s, and again, they're all professional folks.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah.
Pet friendly, not pet friendly? How are we going?
Pet friendly.
Okay, good. So another place, all of them that we visited today have been pet friendly. We forgot to mention that at our last location over at 179 Elm Street. What's really nice is just like all of these places, everything's within walking distance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and what about your parking? Or what's your parking like? Do you have a parking area for your residents?
We do. Diagonal from us, as we sit on the corner of Ann and Allen, diagonal from us on Elm Street is a parking lot that we have a agreement with. So we may not have our own parking lot, but we have parking through them, and it could be built into the rent. It could be taken out of the rent. Most people that have come here do have cars. We thought in the beginning, we may see a lot of pedestrian traffic only, but that's not been the case.
Mm-hmm. And were you here to see the transformation from this building into a residential?
Yes.
How difficult was that?
It went really well. It was incredible seeing it, and the company I work for has owned it, and I've managed it for many years as an office building. We relocated some of the office folks into other properties that we have downtown, and they had to come back to see their old office and what it looked like.
Right.
So just to see the look on their face was incredible.
Wow. And it's got a great brownstone entrance. And there's a lot of, is there history behind the building? Do you know any of the history behind the building at all? Or?
Well, it was the Masons Hall years and years ago.
That's what I remember seeing outside, yeah.
And what's nice is, just like a lot of these older buildings, you have the great facade on the outside. You come in, these apartments just pop as soon as you come in. Great color scheme. You have the natural light and obviously a beautiful view of the city.
Yeah. But high ceilings, and you feel very open with a very open floor plan. It's plenty of room. So it's very nice.
An NBA player. But we're going to be taking a tour around here. We're going to give you some shots. Jay is going to be gracious enough to show us the fitness room and walk around the building. So we'll catch you on the next shoot here at the Grand on Ann.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, here are the Whaler guys. We're here at 777 Main Street in Hartford. We're checking out. We're here with Bruce Becker, who is one of the designers of the buildings, and we're learning a lot about this. There's 285 units. You guys are at 70% capacity, and you just opened up in July. How was that getting everybody on board immediately?
Well, we were overwhelmed at the demand and the response. We originally thought this building would take a couple years to lease up, but here we are. We actually are 70% leased after just a few months of being open. I think that we're probably going to be full in about a year. So
That's
we're
awesome.
leasing about twice the rate we expected.
Right.
But we have basically studios, 1 bedrooms, and 2-bedroom apartments. We have some affordable units as well. Those are almost 100% leased though.
Wow, that's
And
great.
but then the market rate studios start around $1,300, and they go up to about $1,500. The 1-bedroom apartments start around $1,500 and go up to about $1,900 a unit, and the 2 bedrooms are $2,000 or so.
Right. And this building was built in 1967. Did you
Yeah,
say?
the original building. So it's it's coming up on its 50th anniversary.
Right.
But it's a great building.
Yeah.
There was no expense spare building it the first time.
When you walk through the building, you see the touches of the older days.
Right.
But then you walk into these apartments and they're brand new. They're just gorgeous.
Right.
The views are spectacular here.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at each of the properties that we're going to visit today, the windows, for me anyways, when I walked in here and saw the 12-foot windows with, like you said, the 9-foot ceilings, it just opens the space right up, and the natural light here is just phenomenal.
Yeah, you've got great views of the Connecticut River, going north, going south, Bushnell Park, and the Capitol, and because the buildings around us are they're not that tall. Even on the lower floors, you get pretty dramatic views.
Right.
And of course, a lot of the apartments look right out the old State House, one of the most historic buildings in the city. So we definitely have views. We've got high ceilings. We also built in a lot of amenities that are very popular here. We're sitting in front of the kitchen here. We've got disposals, Energy Star appliances, all stainless steel, sort of modern kitchens, a lot of storage. So you can be cooking van and find everything you need here. Every apartment has its own washer dryer, so you can live pretty independently. You don't have to schlep your clothes out.
Right, exactly.
We've got state-of-the-art bathrooms, really nice fixtures and finishes.
One of the things that was amazing was all the amount of energy efficiencies that you had. Now this building you said it was operated on a fuel cell and is one of 3 buildings in the country?
Yeah, this is something that we pride ourselves in as architects and developers, and because the building, it's been here for 50 years, it's going to be here probably for at least another 150 years. So in renovating it, we really tried to make sure it had a small carbon footprint. When you save energy, you also save on your utility bill. So this building is designed to use half the energy of a new code-compliant building. I understand that the average electric bill is only about $30 a month here. That's because it uses about half the energy, and the energy we use is created with this 400 kilowatt fuel cell. So we have combined heat and power. As we're generating the electricity in this very clean way without any combustion, there's no fossil fuels being burned to heat and power this building. We're also harnessing the waste heat from the process for domestic hot water here. So it's really an incredibly efficient building, both in terms of the amount of energy the building uses, but also how the energy is produced. Every apartment has a Nest learning thermostat, so it sort of learns when you come and go and sets the thermostat back when you're not around. And we have a lot of LED lighting, a lot of very high efficiency equipment and motors.
And it's pet friendly. We noticed on the way in, we heard a dog bark, but it is pet friendly. How many pets per unit?
I think that there's as many as a third of our residents have a cat or a small dog, and it's a popular place. I don't know how many apartments allow pets, but we interview them to make sure they're compatible. But we have a lot of very happy pet owners in the building.
That's great.
You got great commercial stuff going on downstairs. You got Blue State Coffee is connected to the main lobby there.
Right. Now we're as we were finishing the project, the one independent coffee shop closed in the downtown, and we thought, gee, how can you have a great place to live without a coffee shop? I have several cups of coffee a day myself, so I knew that at least some of our tenants that would be as important as having a pet.
Oh, absolutely.
So I got to know them down in New Haven. They're a great sort of locally owned business that has a philanthropic mission. So we were able to entice them to come up. So they are right there on the main street next to the lobby. And they are open long hours and on weekends, so there's always a place to get a cup of coffee and also, sit down with friends and there's a social side of that as well. We also have a lot of other commercial space. There's the old banking hall. We're in the final steps of a lease with a major pharmacy. I can't say who they are quite yet, but hopefully you'll learn about it soon. We also have a grocery store that has taken one of the spaces on Asylum Street. We've had a couple great retailers there when we bought the building, a camera bar, a great camera shop, and wonderful optician as well. But we're also bringing in a barber shop.
That's great.
And we have a couple more spaces that we're in negotiations for. We're really excited about that. That's going to bring more people to the street and make it more vital.
Oh, absolutely. And what about parking?
So there is a 250 car parking garage right on our site. In fact, in inclement weather, you can go to the basement and go across and come up in the elevator in the garage.
Better.
So you don't have to go outside. Oh, you don't have to shovel snow, but you also don't even have to put your washers on.
Right, absolutely.
And we also have the greatest number of electric car chargers of any location in the state of Connecticut. We have 11 chargers, so several of our residents have electric cars, and we've got capacity for more. So not only can you save on your utility bill, but you don't have to have a gas bill if you don't want one.
Right, absolutely.
And we actually have the first high-speed level 3 DC charger, so you can charge an electric car in about 20 minutes here.
Oh, that's great.
So we're really trying to have sustainable transportation options. Of course, we're right here on the main node for all the buses.
That's true.
And Fast Track is just really taken off. I mean, I work at a university, and we had the largest number of riders in this Hartford area. They had like 93,000 rides last year from our university alone. So, Fast Track has really taken off where there was a lot of naysayers in the beginning. People are starting to understand it's okay to take the bus.
It's good to have
it's not something to look down upon. You're actually saving money on gas, parking, and it takes you right where you have to go. So,
Yeah, so a lot of our residents work in the downtown. I think close to half of them do, but they can also commute by car or by fast track to all the employment centers around here. I want to mention our demographics a little bit.
yes.
You know, I was surprised. I thought it was all going to be young professionals. We do have quite a few folks in their 20s and 30s, but we also have empty nesters that are coming in from the suburbs who have sort of gotten tired of the big house and the traffic jams. And so a lot of them work for downtown law firms in the area. Some of them are retired. But it's really a mix of people from 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s, and even folks that are older, you know, and are retired. So it's a nice community of folks that are enjoying urban living, that are seeing this as actually a real advantage over the suburbs. You've got a great fitness center upstairs, so that, you know, you've got your own gym. You've got a wonderful space that used to be for the bank's boardroom that's available. We have a library, we've got lounge areas, we've got a screening room, a game room. So we're trying to really pull out all the stops to make this an attractive place to live.
It's great. Well, I really appreciate, we really appreciate the time you spent with us. You're going to take us to a couple more spots, and we'll continue the tour here at 777 Main Street. So we will talk to you on the other side of this tour.
Thank you very much.
Hey, here we are at another great residential location that's opened up down in Hartford. Here with Dan Peabody. We're at 40 Elm Street, and this building has a lot of history in Hartford. You know, Dan, why don't you tell us a little bit about the history and then tell us how you got to make it into a residential area?
Sure. The building was originally built between 1890 and 1900 or so, when the Park River was actually a river that was the backside of the building. But now it originally was built as a carriage storage house for a big carriage factory that was across the street. It then became the first car dealership in the state of Connecticut for a number of years, which is what enabled us to get the historic designation for the property for tax credit purposes and whatnot. So that helped with the financing and making the project to go. So, and then for a number of years it was a plumbing supply company operated out of here. So,
And how many units do you have in this building?
There's 6 units total, 2 per floor essentially, so it's not a large footprint building, but
Well, you had, like you said earlier, you have 2 of the basement units already rented.
yes.
And you just got the CO a couple weeks ago, which was great. And now you've obviously done a lot of work to get these up and up to speed. What's your advertising like? Have you gotten any more bites just yet, or?
Yeah, we're on the Main Street end of Elm Street, so we're close to the federal courthouse and a lot of the state office buildings. We haven't had a number of people from those places at least inquire, but we haven't really advertised heavily because I wasn't sure of the completion date.
Right, exactly.
As things go, but now that we're ready, we'll be putting more out there with showings, and
That's
we've
great.
got a little bit of a showing coming up this weekend to an open house essentially. So.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's really neat to see especially the history behind the building that you're living in. And on the second floor here, there's very high ceilings, and you've reclaimed some of the wood. Some of the flooring is original from back, and then the wood beams, and it really gives it. You can feel the history in the building, but yet you feel like you're in a brand new space. And that's a really nice touch.
Which happened with a lot of the properties we saw today, that they're older buildings, but the property managers and owners have really made them pop when you walked in. They look brand new for older buildings, which is really a lot of fun to go in and realize the history, especially with this building. This one, of course, out of all the ones we've seen today, has the most history. And a lot of fun with it, with the carriages, like you said before, in the back of that, the residence is the elevator that used to bring the carriages up to the second floor for storage.
And kind of an interesting thing that came up as part of the researching the history. I'm a pilot and a flyer, and it was like, when I was a kid growing up, I remember Eddie Rickenbacker kind of reading about him and sort of being a hero. Well, his early history, when he's a teenager, he drove race cars, and he drove the cars that were sold here.
Really?
Before he went on to become a World War I fighter ace and
wow.
Eastern Airlines. So, in researching the history, I was like,
that's a lot of fun.
It was interesting.
It just goes to prove, as we've said before, you just never know what's in Hartford, and you just have to get out and you have to meet people, and like Dan is doing with this great historic landmark, you're bringing it back to life again in the next era of someone's life.
Yeah,
So.
'cause people are attracted to the history of buildings. It's a fun place, it's a conversation piece when people come visit where they live, and this building used to be this and that. So yeah, if you are interested, come down to 40 Elm Street and see Dan, and maybe you can show people an apartment if they want to check it out.
Sure.
Get a nice piece of Hartford history.
And you can get a lot of this information right off the CRDA website. And Terrell Smith will help you. She's been great all day today. She's put up with us all day. She has a place in heaven. So there she is. Terrell, there you go. Well, we're going to catch you next time on the Whaler Guys. Thank you so much for all the property owners. And we'll be back at the studio next week for more of the Whaler Guys. Have a great night. We're One Nation Under Green. Bye-bye.